Traveling Messenger. Today we are at Grant Park, historic Grant Park. It's the oldest park in Atlanta, 131 acres of green space, and it's also home to the Atlanta Zoo, which goes back to 1889, and this park goes back to 1883. It's a lovely day, 84 degrees weather, sunshine, and you can kind of see people enjoying themselves, picnicking, like there's a little festival going on, and we're on our way to the Atlanta Zoo. We're taking a brief pause here. This is a cover song by Stapleton, and Emily, the Traveling Messenger, is a big fan of the song. I myself from Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. So we're stopping to pay homage to this little cover here. Actually sounds like the original. Enjoy. On your love all the time. Used to spend my nights at the barroom. Found the bottom of the bottle's always right. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high, yeah. All I see is innocent sweet. All I sweet is strawberry wine. Love is Traveling Messenger now is at the Atlanta Zoo, our main attraction today. Some interesting facts on the zoo. It actually goes back to 1889. It was originally founded by George Gress, a wealthy businessman who bought a bankrupted traveling circus, put the animals here, and then began the tradition of Zoo Atlanta. Over time, it went through many incarnations, and by the 70s, it was a little bit out of date. And the zoo, as we know it now, went through a major renovation. And I was lucky to come here in elementary school. We used to do a combined field trip, and a lot of Georgia kids got to do that. They go to the zoo and then Cyclorama over here, which is now closed. And some of the things that the zoo is noted for, it's one of 4 zoos in the country that actually have pandas. There's a Asian rainforest, African plain, and then there's also World of Reptiles. So a lot of slithering, creepy things in there. If you're interested in snakes, serpents, reptiles, tarantulas, or even giant cockroaches from Madagascar, this is your place. Well worth seeing if you're in Atlanta, and we're about to enjoy. Thank you. One thing both of us like about Zoo Atlanta is how they try to recreate native habitats for these animals, so the animals don't seem like they're caged up or in captivity, but maybe feel like they're in their habitat as best as it can be under the circumstances. And as I said before, they have the African plains, the African rainforest, and then the Asian forest, as well as the world of reptiles. We're starting off with the African plains here, and we hope to see zebras and warthogs and giraffes and that sort of thing. One of my favorite animals are elephants. As you can see, we have 2 elephants here, one on the left, one on the right, and they're kind of sunning themselves, relaxing. This one's swinging his tail, swinging his trunk. Hopefully they'll trumpet out an elephant sound and make their majestic roar. One thing that's kind of humorous to me is if you know anything about Georgia, it's known for its red clay. Well, the elephants are covered in red clay dust. If you look off to the right here, you see 2 strange looking animals. At first glance, you might mistake them for Arkansas razorback, but they're actually warthogs. from Africa. And this is the warthog and meerkat exhibit over here. And I think I can tell by the smell. Be careful, everyone. This is the lion exhibit over here. If you're not careful, you might actually wake him. This is the lion, the king of the jungle. Except one thing about lions is they're not actually in the jungle. They actually belong to the African savanna and plains. And the funny thing about lions is they can sleep. The male lion, in particular, lets the female lion hunt, and the male lion can sleep for up to 20 hours a day and just gets out to eat and mate. This one is not going to be disturbed, as it seems, but I won't knock on the glass or wake him up either. Is there anything more beautiful than a giraffe? I can just imagine him in his native habitat, or habitat, craning his very, very long, almost dinosaur-like neck, eating leaves and branches up in the trees. Very peaceful and graceful. And look at those broken spots. Very neat to see in person. I would highly recommend it. We had to get one more here. If you look at this one, they're actually feeding him on the Twiga terrace. I guess with certain rules you can feed the giraffes. But if you look at his face, he almost has the mouth and snout of a camel. I wonder if they're related. What do we have here? From another vantage point on the Twiga terrace, you see two zebras. They actually look very young. You can see the brilliant stripes, especially from a side view there. One thing about zebras, they may look like a horse, but they're not very easily domesticated. People have actually tried to ride them and treat them like horses, but they're not having it. You can see them quietly grazing, even though there's several people in line to view them. They couldn't be bothered, it seems. Okay, right now we're in the scaly, slithery exhibit here. I'll spare you the king snakes and copperheads over here that were sleeping behind us. But here's a little exhibit that shows some fish and some sea turtles. And they look really, really interesting here. Several pounds. You can see them sticking their necks out. And look at the ease at which they paddle and swim. This one right here is very curious and wants to see what we're doing. Nice and refreshing in here, very cool. You see this handmade fountain here and a little habitat with logs and woods and a little ramp. The kind of chilling in the background is what can only be described as a sleeping American crocodile. I must admit this scene right here is a little bit disturbing right here. This right here is a green anaconda that is native to the llamas of Venezuela. It said that the females get larger than the males, and when they breed, they actually intertwine into a breeding ball. I think the first and last experience I've had with these is watching the movie Anaconda, and I would hate to be anywhere near one of these things in a wetland. If you weren't careful, you'd actually miss this one in the museum. The animal we see right in front of us is a red python from Malaysia, Sumatra, and Southeast Asia. You can see him moving, even though he's well camouflaged. The broken patterns clearly match the rock. I really, really don't like these kind of things, but as long as he's behind a few inches of plexiglass, I'm okay. This is a monitor. It's been presented by the zookeeper. As you can see, he's got something in his mouth that he's chewing with his mouth. He's from southern Africa, and he looks kind of like a dragon in a miniature form. As you see in front of us here, this is a boa constrictor. Boa is a good constrictor in Portuguese. He's native to southern Mexico as well as South America, and it's one of the most widely distributed constrictor snakes in the world. This one's very, very thick. Looks like he's been well fed. Highly adaptable. One other thing to note about him or her is these kind of snakes don't lay eggs, they give live birth, which is pretty rare for reptiles, I would say. Now we're in the Willie B exhibit here. These are northern gorillas. As you can see, they did try to recreate the habitat here, and they're kind of relaxing. I've always loved things about like gorillas, apes, like Planet of the Apes, Tarzan, King Kong. And I even used to watch Jane Goodall documentaries as a kid. It's actually neat that we have these here in Atlanta. And the reason this is called the Willie B exhibit here is Willie B was one of the famous ones that lived a long time. He passed in 2000 when the gorilla actually passed. people mourned them, and it was in the news. I remember locally. These are two monkeys fighting. We're not really sure what the species are. They look kind of sloth-like, but tensions are running a little high today in its summer heat. As you can see, they're fighting each other almost like cats or raccoons. I wouldn't want to be down there. Perhaps the cage isn't big enough for the both of them. Now we're in the panda exhibit. As you can see, it's a family here, a mother on the left, and then two twins born barely 2 months ago. Apparently, pandas feed off of bamboo. These are Yalloon and Zealand, twin pandas. One thing Zoo Atlanta is proud of its pandas. Here are the birth announcements for Yalloon and Sheila. Hello everyone. Last week we come to the end of our afternoon excursion to the Atlanta Zoo. Did want to remind people that there are plenty of seating areas like this, concessions, places to refresh yourself, restrooms. So it's very convenient for all ages. And I did need to mention that behind us is the kids zone. So in addition to all these different wild animals, some of them which might be terrifying, there's also some fun areas for small children. And I wanted to make a correction from something I said at the beginning of the video. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned the World of Reptiles. Apparently it no longer exists. The animals have been kind of dispersed, including the cockroaches and spiders and snakes. And so the slimy slithering things is where the snakes are mainly housed now. So that no longer exists, and I wanted to make a postscript to that. But all in all, it's a very fun place to go. It's been a nice time, a nice afternoon. It's very affordable, and I would highly recommend it if you're an Atlanta resident or passing through. Thank you.